During dark night, our male protagonist were running into woods covered in bruises. He runs and slips into valley and hurt his legs. 6 assassins are after his life and were trying to kill him. One assassin says he must had trouble running for an hour to reach here. It was so tiring to catch you. Our protagonist is a Prince Cheon. He is so tired now that he doesn't have any strength left to run more. He asks why they are trying to kill him even when he gave up on enrolling into the academy. What more you want from me? Assassin says, even if you gave up on academy and you have absolute no talent in martial arts, as long as he is having rights to the throne, he has to die. Even if you are having mixed blood, but you have bloodline of king, so he should be killed now. Hearing peasant blood, Prince Cheon gets angry. How do they dishonor his mother? Now even if he is going to die, he will fight until his last breath. Seeing his posture, Assassin thinks he doesn't have any knowledge of martial arts, and starts charging on him to kill. Prince Cheon tries to swing dagger but cannot hurt them. One assassin chokes his neck and lifts him and asks, "Is that it?" Immediately, while struggling, Prince Cheon takes out another knife and stabbed his neck. Others were shocked to see such lowly martial arts person was able to kill one assassin. They attack seriously this time and kicks his head. Assassin stabs dagger into Prince's stomach and asks, "How do you feel whole in your stomach?" Prince thinks he was able to trick them once, now he don't have any chance, but it's okay now that he was able to kill at least one person. Suddenly, one bright light shines, and one assassin gets killed and flies into pieces. Seeing that, others gets terrified as what happened to him. Someone having a very different clothes shows up with electrifying aura. Assassins get scared and thinks who could be he? And charges towards him to kill him. But again, that mysterious person uses his powers and kills other one into pieces. He disappeared in a second and kills another one. Assassin thinks, how could be someone so faster? Could it be that he is a master risen to the highest level? Even if he is, why such extraordinary person is saving a brat like him? Assassin thinks that Prince has already lost so much blood and is going to die anyway, so he can retreat from there as the mission is fulfilled. But the mysterious person again uses his powers and kills him. Injured Prince thinks they served right. The mysterious person says, even though lying at deathbed, our ancestor is in happy mood. Prince doesn't understand what he is saying, his eyesight is getting fuzzy and entire body is getting frigid. He thinks, is he going to die like this? That person checks his gadget and says he doesn't have much time. He was going to come earlier and teach how to use this, but now he doesn't have that much time. He takes out injection and injects some fluid into Prince. And before leaving, he asks Ancestor Nim, please make sure to succeed and make this descendant's life easier. He says he has put latest nano machine into him and operating it should be simple enough, and goes from there. Prince Cheon is the illegitimate child of the highest ranking family in demonic cult who has the right to the throne. Prince thinks what nonsense that strange guy was blabbering about. Suddenly, he hears some strange voice into his head, saying serial number 032 Sky Corporation, 7th Gen Nano Machine starting activation. When Prince Cheon wakes up, he is surprised to see that he is still alive, even when his stomach was pierced by the sword. What must have happened? Why his whole body is sweating? And what are these black spots? The smell is too awful and his body is sticky. The system again says, "Are you awake, master?" Prince Cheon scared and asks, "Who are you?" "There isn't anyone around, what is this?" "I have heard this voice once before and is coming directly from his head." The system says, "You are right, master. I connect and serve as a core to support master's brain, and I am 7th Gen Nano Machine." Prince asks, "Were you the one who saved my life?" System replies, "It saved Prince's life by using self-healing mode." Prince doesn't understand anything, so System sends basic information to his brain. System says he is not any evil god and asks should the system send basic info and manual about him to his brain. After confirming, Prince Cheon gets shock and the info is injected into him. But because of sudden information, he vomits. System says, because this is first time, your brain feel dizzy, later on he will get used to it. Prince asks, is it true that thousands of machines are embedded in his body? Machine confirms, it's more than 6 billion nanomachines into your body. Prince asks, can the system get out of his body? But system is programmed to only be extracted out from body when the body dies. Prince thinks, already his so-called brothers were after his life, and now there's unidentified nanomachine in his body. What will happen to him and who put this into his body? Dr. Beck and Prince's guard Jang discussing, was it an assassination attempt? It was a miracle that Prince Cheon was able to make it alive. Jang thinks someone helped Prince Cheon because when he went to the location, the scene was terrible. The bodies of assassins were cut half. Among them, only one has their upper body intact, and the dagger which he gave to Prince was stuck in his head. Then, he heard someone's breathing, it was Prince Cheon, but he had no wounds in his body. Doctor was surprised, and his breathing was like he was in deep sleep. His clothes were torn by sword, but his body was clean of any marks. Doctor asks to lead him to Prince Cheon's room and knocks door of Prince Cheon. Prince asks Nano Machine to stay quiet, otherwise they will think he is weird talking to himself. Machine says he can read his thoughts and going into silent mode for temporary. When Jang comes near Prince, he gets awful smell. Dr. Beck says we have met before. Prince replies, how could he forget the doctor who came to see his mother when she was sick? Doctor checks his pulse and surprised to see. Jang asks what happened, is anything bad happened to Prince? Doctor says, it's the opposite. The entire body of Prince Cheon is cleansed of dirty substances and energy flow has been activated. Did Prince took some kind of medicine or what? He says Prince now have the perfect body to train in martial arts. Immediately, Prince remembers that these black spots must be waste came out of his body and asks System that did he do this? Machine replies, the nanomachines placed throughout the body have extracted waste from the body, and they have also reshaped the blood vessels, joints and muscles to fit best for the body shape. Prince asks, are you sure Machine? You are not an evil god? The demonic cult was made up of many clans and families, but only 6 of them were important. The leader had promised to marry a woman from each of these 6 clans so that he could have children from each clan. These children grew up in their own clan and, when they were old enough, they went to a school called the Demonic Academy. The Demonic Academy was created to train the best warriors and opened every 10 years. The most skilled experts from the magistrate were in charge of the academy. When several princes attended the academy, it was called the period of Battle of the Heirs by the magistrates. Suddenly, Prince remembers that Dr. Beck is from Poison Clan, so he thinks he need to hide the fact that Nano Machine is in his body. The machine says the technology in this era will not be able to detect his presence. Dr. Beck says there is nothing wrong with his body, but he will prescribe some tonic that will help him regain his energy and asks Jang to look after Prince and leaves from there. While going, Dr. Beck feels very strange, how can a person change like that? A long time ago, he was sure that Prince Cheon will be kicked out of the ranks with his weak body and poor martial art, but with the current body, he can learn martial arts better than any of other princes. He thinks, did Lord pretend that he doesn't care about his illegitimate child but actually took interest in him and secretly helped him? Soon, when Demonic Academy will open, it will be very noisy. Prince Cheon thinks the reason he is alive is because of guard Jang. Because Jang came on time to save the prince after he passed out. Guard Jang says, you should wash up first. While having bath, Prince Cheon asks Machine how much the self-healing mode can heal his body. Machine answers, injuries caused by external impact, whether internal or external, can typically heal quickly. However, injuries that involve significant blood loss or decapitation will require more time to heal because they require cell division. Prince gets confused by the heavy words and thinks he should try by himself how much self-healing can work. He cuts in his palm. System activates self-healing on left palm and heals the wound quickly. Even after seeing, it's hard to believe for Prince. He asks can he use all those function which information was passed earlier to him? System replies he can use all those which were shown on instructions. Coming out from bath, Prince checks himself and asks System how his body suddenly became muscular and toned. Did you do this too? System replies it have reconstructed his body. It is not difficult to reconstruct an existing part of his body. Prince again gets confused with the advanced word System uses. He says he will call him Nano from now on. In study room, Nano asks Prince Cheon to just flip the book which he wants to read. Prince thinks, there are only 2 books which are related to martial arts which are blood points and chi, and one is the 3 Jasim which is designed to train mind and body. He thinks even if someone practice for the rest of his life, it is still difficult to achieve the lowest level. And starts flipping the pages of those books. After scanning the book Blood Passage, Nano asks is Prince ready to receive all the information which is copied? Once Prince accepts, he feels uneasy but now he gets used to it. Prince asks what he has to do now after scanning. Nano asks if he wants to use the acquired knowledge, you have to think about it. Prince tries to think about the book Blood Point. And just like that he can tell what was written inside book and understanding of it. He is surprised that it is crazy, it's not just memorization, he can fully understand the content as well. Nano says he transferred information after some corrections of errors of the book based on the information in the system. Nano corrected about the blood points. Prince Cheon can't believe this, he thinks he can master and learn martial arts faster than anyone else. The candidates from 6 clans have been learning fighting techniques since they were very young. Even after watching others practice, one person couldn't learn the 3 Jasim method. There aren't many martial arts books here, but there will be more at the Demonic Academy. So Prince wants to become stronger than anyone else at the academy and sets his goal. At Chamber of the Air Candidate, South Castle of Demonic Cult, House of Bokmajang. One of his brother, Prince Mukiam, asks the assassin head who sent assassin that night to kill Prince Cheon, that he asked to kill only one boy, but all 5 of the assassins were dead? That doesn't make any sense. He thought, since he is bastard of low blood it would be easy to kill him, but he had something up his sleeve. Now, he thinks, he has to kill himself in the Demonic Academy. For the whole night, Prince Cheon didn't sleep because of nervousness, because today is the day he will be joining Demonic Academy. Out of the balcony, he sees guard Jang is practicing dagger technique, and he thinks would it have been better if he learned Jang's dagger technique secretly? But he made oath not to learn martial arts until he will be admitted into the academy. Nano asks, do you want me to scan guard Jang's movements? Prince surprised on this speciality and asks can you do that? Can you scan and transfer his technique into my head also, just like books? Nano replies, it is possible. The program also has various martial arts techniques that can be transferred into Prince's head right now. Prince thinks, is it okay to steal guard Jang's martial arts techniques without permission? But he has to go to academy this afternoon without any regrets. So to protect himself in academy, Prince decides to copy Jang's movements and asks Nano to scan. Nano starts scanning each movement of guard Jang in detail, his footwork, his thrust and blow, everything. After half-hour of scanning, Nano completes the scan and starts transferring those techniques into Prince's brain. Prince is now used to the transfer process and doesn't feel sick like first time. And suddenly, he feels those movements and surprised how this can be possible. He takes dagger and gets the feeling that he can do guard Jang's dagger skill, but he thinks he need to be careful while practicing. He starts those movements, and it's exactly the same movements that Jang has been training for 20 years. Training every day, good posture, mastering with body, all this is very easily done, so Prince asks am I ignoring the process? Nano says, while movement scan was activated, Nano also completed muscle training analysis and asks if Prince wants to transfer it to his muscles. But he suddenly feels pain in whole body and asks why is his body in so much pain. Nano explains, Jang has been training for long time, so even if Prince got training into his head, His body is not used to it and won't able to adjust it easily. He must have to go through simulation so that he will be familiar with those movements. With muscle transfer, he will not feel pain in his body, but this transfer requires use of every nano machine in his body, which will take some time. And because of this transfer, his body will be in lot of pain, so he will be put under anesthesia. But Prince wants to see how much pain he will get through transfer, so he asks start without anesthesia. If he will be in lot of pain, switch it to anesthesia. Nano starts transfer of muscle, and Prince feels a hell lot of pain into his body. Nano immediately injects anesthesia and Prince fell down. Guard Jang was preparing food for Prince as his mother died because of the poison in food, so from then he cooks personally for him from past 5 years. While cooking, he suddenly hears sound of someone falling, and he runs towards Prince's room to check. Jang sees Prince fell down on floor and checks his pulse, but he doesn't feel anything unusual, and suddenly sees the footsteps which was made when Prince Cheon was practicing. And thinks Prince might be watching his training from at most 2 years, but has already caught up to his 20 years of training. Suddenly Prince wakes up, Nano completes muscle and fiber transfer and deactivates anesthesia. And he thinks he will never do that again without anesthesia. But when he woke up, he found himself on the bed and he thinks, how he came here, did Jang came? Now he asks Nano it should not hurt him to use dagger technique. Nano explains, because of muscle transfer, he has same muscles as those who have practiced these movements for 20 years. Prince Cheon tries again those movements and feels the difference. The technique was similar to earlier but with more accuracy and power. He gets the feeling of cutting through the air and feels nice. Now after some time, he tries second formation of the technique, but the wooden floor gets broken. He thinks if Jang sees this, it can be bad. At the same time, Jang is coming with the breakfast. Prince immediately puts table on those markings. Prince is happy to see all his favorite food made by Jang and thinks Jang made this for him, since today is the last day to stay here. After breakfast, Jang asks when did he learn his dagger technique? And slides the table. He sees the step made because of the second formation and amazed to see that Prince has learned very precisely. While Prince was thinking, stealing someone's martial arts is a taboo and even if Jang will hate him now, he will have no excuse. But Jang says he did good. So what if he learned it secretly? If it wasn't for the oath 6 clans gave him, Jang would have taught these technique earlier. Jang gives another technique of energy flow for Nigong of dagger technique, and asks there will be much better techniques what he can learn in the academy and asks him to learn those. Prince gets emotional to see the care and love guard Jang does on him. When going back, Jang asks him, he can cry today but from now on he must become stronger. Prince thinks, even if he doesn't have mother now, he still has a place to return to. In the next part, you will see, Demonic Academy starts, and thousands of people enroll into the academy. The Guardians are very powerful and ferocious. Many people including the heirs of the 6 clans join this year. At first day, all Guardians and Cult Lord also comes to see. The first test starts on the first day itself. Prince is not aware of the first test, and surprised to see everyone is covering their ears. The first test was to endure the musical energy wave for 1 minute. What will happen next? To know more, keep watching. Thank you.